Okay, so having issues with my stream, of course. Okay. Oh, let's try this again, I guess, maybe. Hey, sorry, I'm having issues with my stream, so I had to start over. Hello. For some reason, I'm having issues with the stream. I'm not going to start over all the way. Stream at least. I'm sorry. So, let's see. Alright, I'm not sure exactly where I left off, but I'm pretty sure that I was talking about the binding of the materials. So how's my stream now? Is everyone still with me? It says I have all bars, so I don't know why I'm having issues. I'm pretty sure it's Streamlabs. Lower the bit rate. Okay. I don't really know how to do that. Where do I find the bit rates? There it is. What should I lower it to is the question. Okay. Hi guys. How is it now? Is it any better? Is my stream better now? I lowered the bitrate to 2500. Okay, I'm going to keep adjusting these settings till I figure it out. Because I used to have it, like, I had someone mess with it before and it was wonderful. Let's try that. It's trying to tell me I have a poor connection. Is it any better now, or am I still buffering? I did change some of the things on it, so hopefully that will help. Yes, hopefully I can get this thing to stay again. Okay, so I don't remember exactly where I was, but I know I was talking about binding the fabric. So we have several different ways to bind fabric. We have rubber bands, clamps, sinew, artificial sinew, and I think this one is a butterfly or dragonfly. Pretty sure this is a mandala, and this is a variation of a spiral with a crumple around the edges, and I think this is a spiral mandala. No volume. Hold on. On my side. Can you guys hear me? Okay, awesome. All right, so these are materials that I have already bound. These have been bound for about 6 months since the last time. And I'm going to show you guys a few different patterns. Ouch. Okay, some of these patterns that I do aren't traditional patterns. So But I'm going to show you the most traditional pattern first. And I'm going to show you on a bandana because it's the smallest and the easiest. Goodbye, Also Cal. Thanks for stopping by. Probably gonna upset some people with my content, but that's okay. I'll bring the right viewers in. Okay, so I'm buffering again. Alright. Well, hopefully we'll get through this without buffering too much. And then I'll adjust the settings later. Okay, so a spiral. Basically, you open up your fabric and you make it flat. Then you take your... Some people use a fork. Some people use some kind of tongs. Some people use pliers. You hit up any part of your fabric. I like to start from the center, and you pinch it, and then you just start to slowly twist it. This one, you want to kind of keep it flat while you're twisting it. You don't want it in a big ball because it's going to affect the way that your dye goes through your fabric. So I'm going to twist the rest of it by hand after I got it started. So basically that is your spiral. You just twist it from the center and follow suit around. Hopefully a rubber band will work on this little thing. Sometimes the rubber bands aren't small enough. We kind of want to keep that together. And the bandanas are they're kind of hard to do because they're so small. But as you can see, it's made like a little. So this is buffering again. So that's a spiral. Sorry about all the buffering. For some reason, I don't, it has something to do with Streamlabs. It's not my signal or anything. So that's a spiral. Okay, the next thing I'm going to show you is a heart. So you take your material and you fold it in half. Anything that's going to be a symmetrical pattern, the fabric gets folded in half. That way, whenever you do something on this side, and then you dye it, and then you open it up, it's going to be the same on both halves. These are bandanas. The edges have been cut and sewed on these. You can order material that hasn't been, but these were, I usually work with what I'm given, so these were a gift. So what you want to do for a heart is you want to draw half a heart. I'm not so sure I want to do this on a bandana because you're not actually going to see the whole heart that way. Unless I were to do two little hearts, that would possibly work. Now, I'm gonna change my mind. I'm gonna change my mind, and I'm going to make a heart on a bigger piece because the bigger pieces are miniature tapestries, and that's what I should be doing a heart on. So you take your material, and this one's already folded in half because I knew I would be doing this, so I set it up earlier. And it helps to have an iron so you can get it really, really like perfect, because none of these are cut perfect, and they're really imperfect whenever they're wrinkly. So you're going to take your piece of material, fold it in half, and draw half of your picture. And I want to start it, I want to make it like here. So I'm going to mark there and there. And actually, I might, yeah, I'm going to take it down to here. So I'm going to draw half a heart. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's just a heart, right? No one's heart is perfect. So what you want to do when you have a pattern like this, you're going to want this to be a certain color and this to be a different color. That way your picture stands out. So what you're going to do, this pattern, this line is going to be kept straight, and it is going to be your mark where you want to have one color on one side and on the other color on the other. So what you want to do is fan fold along this line, and I like to start at the bottom. And you keep this line, I'm not sure if you guys can see this or not. You want to keep this line straight. So I'm just going to fan fold it along the line. You can see that I am trying to keep this line straight. And I'm a little rusty because it's been a half a year. But tie-dyeing is one of those things that's really hard to screw up. And even when you screw up, sometimes it's a happy accident. So now I have fan folded this line and kept it straight. I have a little line, and that's where I want to bind it. And actually I'm going to go right behind it to bind it. But that's where the border of the heart will be. And you want to do it kind of tight because it'll keep colors from going all over the place. See, now my heart is bound. This is the heart right here. And this is the rest of my fabric. So now I have to decide what I want to do with the rest of this. And I think I'm going to bind it just a little bit. Just to give it a cool look inside of the heart. Okay. And now the rest of it, I have to figure out what I want to do with that part. And usually I will just bring it around like this and bind it this way. But sometimes I will take it and I will turn it up and spiral the rest of it. which I think that's a good idea. It kind of looks like it wants to go that way, so I'm going to go that way. I'm going to just spiral up the rest of it. So I will have a heart with a spiral around it. Instead of under or above or to the side, this spiral will be around the heart. Thank you, Happy Hippie. Appreciate you stopping by. Hopefully I can teach you guys some things, and maybe I'll learn some things about teaching. Just keeping the fabrics together now. And you can see on the back that there is a spiral there. And then this is the heart. So whenever I go to dye it, I want to keep this from touching this part. So the two patterns are kind of separated and give their own look. So that's two pieces. Alright, the other thing on my list today was the mandala. Alright, these are really simple, and I'm going to do that on a bandana. I don't need to draw anything. Basically what you do is you're going to fold this like a paper airplane, sort of. So you have a square piece, you fold it in half. Then you fold it in half again. Okay, keep it flat. I'll fold it kind of like an airplane. The important part on this one is to keep this tip up here flat, straight. Just this tip is the most important part. Flip it over, fold it in half. Okay, and then as you're folding it, you can see that you have one side that has two and another side that has several. You want to keep folding the two back. Fold it over. Now there's a lot of things you can do at this point with this mandala. You can scrunch it, you can twist it, you can twirl it. What I'm going to do with this one, there's this really pretty pattern that I've been following a lot lately, and it's where you twist it towards the two side, I believe, or is it the other side? Two side. This is a pattern I just discovered playing around, but it's become kind of a popular one. I have one of the shirts over there in this pattern. So I folded it like a paper airplane, and now I'm just kind of trying to keep it flat and turning it into a spiral. Tight as I can get it there. Rubber bands are still my go-to for most of my binding, simply because they're quick and easy, And I don't have to let go of my garment while I'm messing with any string or anything like that. So that is going to be a spiraled up mandala. And it's a teeny tiny one, so I'm not sure how that's going to come out. But, and you can see the difference in size here. Let me show you. So this is a t-shirt, probably a 2X. Yeah, this is a 2X. Long sleeve, spiraled up. This is a bandana. Let's see if you guys can see what I'm looking at here. Okay, this is a bandana. This is a mini tapestry. So as you can see, each piece is going to take a different amount of dye and time to bind, time to design. So when it comes to pricing it later, you have to calculate how much time each piece took, how much dye you had to use, how much soda ash you had to use for the batch. But the dye is the expensive part, so how much dye it takes is really the most important part. And of course, the time and effort. So, t-shirt, bandana, mini tapestry. Now when I do the shower curtain, I have that soaking right now. That shower curtain is going to take a lot of time and a lot of dye. So that's pretty much the lesson for today. I am going to be binding the rest of these materials later tonight. And I might do a live stream and not do a whole lot of teaching, talking, but just recording. Before I go, I do kind of want to touch on ways to dye. I have 2 different ways that I can dye. That sounds horrible. But I have powder dye, and I can use ice and create ice dyes, which is a really interesting way to dye. Or I can mix them up in water, which uses way less dye, and I can control the dye a little bit better that way. So I can use liquid dyes, or I can use ice and powder. And I will be doing a little bit of both. Right now I have probably a dozen pieces to work on. I have a couple bandanas left and a little stack here of pre-soaked materials. So later on tonight when I'm done doing all my other stuff, it's been a busy day. I did some gardening earlier and I got some blisters from the shovel, and I decided after I got the blisters that I needed to take a break, because I got 3 of them. I don't know what's going on with my phone. Am I gonna show? Okay. Hold on. Okay. My phone is going crazy right now. Sorry about that. Am I going to show how to dye it sometime in the future? Yes. I'm going to be doing quite a few tutorials on tie-dyeing, on different patterns, binding, dyeing, dye placement, and then the rinse out process. So we'll be doing a lot of that stuff. I'll even, whenever I start exploring new patterns, I'll probably go live whenever I do that. So, but yeah, I think that's all I needed to talk about today. Next time we'll be talking about mixing dyes, the dye to water ratios, shelf life, and personal protection equipment. And hopefully next time I can figure out how to show you guys some of the pieces that I have already made. They're on my Instagram and my Facebook, but I'd like to be able to show you guys here, like scroll through some of my other stuff and show you some of the pieces that I've made. So before I go though, I'm going to see if maybe it might be possible. Hey, where are my pictures at? View picture. Okay, so this is one of the dragonflies that I've done. This is going to be, this camera to camera is kind of weird, so it's hard to see the colors. But that's it. That's one that I've done. Here's the owl that I did. Shitty camera, sorry. There we go, kind of. Here's me wearing my, one of the ones that I made, and I have a Pokeball and a mandala in the background. One of my happy customers. Probably don't have any. I have to look and see if I can find any other recent stuff, like from 6 months ago that I did. I know it's in here somewhere. Okay, here we go. Here's one of the aliens with the spaceships that I did. Here's a rainbow tapestry that I did. There's that paw print that I did that I was so happy about. Here's one of my hearts. I don't know what that is, it's just cool looking. So, let's see. Where's the rest of the shit? Here's a spiral. Here's a heart with a spiral. So yeah, that's some of the stuff last year. I lost two of my favorite shirts. Here's another cool one I really like. It's called a spider spiral. Ones that I did. This is one of my favorites. It's one of the mandalas that I did. There's one of my rainbows. This spiral heart is up at my friend's house. So I see that one quite often. Here's one of my hearts with spirals. So anyway, that's just some idea of some of the stuff that I make. I've been doing this for quite a while now, so sucks I lost so much good pieces, but I've given away a lot too. So here's one of my spaceships. Alright, so that's pretty much all I have for you guys right now. I will be doing more tutorials soon, so if you guys are interested in learning, there will be more to learn, more to share. Thanks for coming. Appreciate you guys being here with me and learning with me. And until next time, one love, one goal, freedom.